Really excited about our next guest. I've been wanting to have you on for a minute as we start the new school year, Sarah. Sarah Siegand joins us. She's from Parents Who Fight, parentswhofight.com. We're going to talk about what's going on with Roblox, but I think first, I'd love a little groundwork and backstory on what Parents Who Fight is and what you guys do.
Sure. So we are located here in the Nashville area, and for the last 10 years, we've been helping parents know how to better protect their kids online, which is quite a job. And we really focus on some of the technical solutions that are available to you and kind of helping you understand how technology is working against you and what you can do about it. So we love to help parents. Shoot us a message on our website if you've got a school or a church you want us to come to help your community. We'd love to do that.
Yeah, and that's how I found out about you guys. You had come to my kid's school, and you just give a great presentation, and you really know what's going on in the online space and how to keep these kids safe. So you're a great resource, and I'm grateful for you joining the program. Sarah Siegand with us.
Thank you.
What is happening with Roblox? And I think the question is, how long has this been happening? Because I don't think that this popped up overnight. The controversy has, but this seems like this has been bubbling under the surface for a while.
Oh, yeah. So Roblox has been around for quite a long time. I think 2006 maybe for, the actual original inception. But over the last 10 years, we've heard a lot of people talking about the dangers on Roblox. And I think during the pandemic, there was a lot more awareness of what's going on that platform. And so for any parent who's under a rock somewhere, this platform really prizes itself as one of the leaders in user-generated content. So that means they have like 118 million users, and any of those people can create games inside their platform. So there's like estimates of 40 million experiences within Roblox. I've seen some as low as 8.
Now, this is a little different than a platform like Steam, right? Steam is like a video game marketplace. Am I right?
Correct. Roblox is one main store, if you will. So it's not a mall like Steam is, where you can have, multiple different brands and whatever. It's all Roblox, but these developers are brought on. Many of them are paid to be influencers. And so they are creating content for Roblox. And as you can imagine, these developers have any, number of moral compasses, from really good to really bad.
Yep.
And because there is so much content and it's so difficult to monitor, and there's, 40% of their users are under the age of 13, of course, it's a place where predators have learned how to network and gather and groom children.
Now, before we get into more of the nitty gritty on how they're doing that, I think the quick question is, should kids be on this platform, period?
My hearty answer is no. I think if you have a 16-year-old and they've had, lots of training on how to deal with things, block things, and they know how to kind of hold their own, okay, maybe then. But any parent who's come to me and said, my kid really wants to play Roblox with their neighbor friend, I'm like, no, it's not worth it. It's only going to create headaches for you. It's really complicated to manage. There are some parental controls. And for parents out there who are like, we're already in knee deep, just Google Bark Roblox video. And there's a great video that'll come up that'll really walk you through setting some of those parental controls. But as you can see with the story that's unfolding, it's not enough.
Right.
And there's a lot of public outcry right now about what needs to be fixed, or should it just go away completely?
Yeah, so the story as it goes online is there's a young man, 22 years old, by the name of Real Schlepp. He was groomed himself, according to the India Times, by a Roblox developer, and it radicalized him. So he's been on a mission to out child predators on the platform. And in the midst of outing child predators, Roblox has banned him.
Right.
How does that make any sense?
Well, Roblox is using some excuse, really, of they're trying to crack down on vigilantes. So people who are taking matters into their own hands. And there's quite a bit of lots of the developers and the people who have good intentions are really backing up the reason why vigilantes exist by saying, if you guys were doing your job to keep kids safe, if some of these safety settings were actually by default, if you made age verification an actual thing instead of, oh, what age do I want to be on today, we wouldn't have these problems. So the developers who have a good conscience, who are trying to combat pedophilia on this platform, they have been left to try to clean it up themselves. And you're right, this young man, he was radicalized because of his experience, and he came out today or yesterday with an official statement talking about how he was groomed and even attempted suicide and was hospitalized as a
Heartbreaking.
teenager, and reached out to Roblox. His mom, threatened legal action, and it took years for the groomer to be banned from Roblox. And that groomer, by the way, was an official developer. That groomer who victimized Schlep back, many years ago, was somebody who was part of the brand extension of Roblox, had merch with Roblox. So this is not a problem with just like bad actors, rogue people that can't quite get their hand. These are actually the people that they are helping to monetize and pay for their life.
It's awful. Like the way you see this is like, okay, if you want your kids to play video games, how about an N64? I mean, seriously, what can we do as parents? A lot of times you can't put the genie back in the bottle, right?
Right.
So if you already have a kid using Roblox, what kind of steps can we take to make it safer?
Well, like I mentioned, there are some great steps by, trusted resources like Bark, like Protect Young Eyes, like Parent Protect, Cyber Farida. Look up any of those people, and they're going to walk you through what is available to lock down some things. But ultimately, I think we have to ask, is it worth it to really be putting our kids in a place where, those safety settings, some of them are new, some of them have existed. There's more stuff coming. There's a party chat coming to kids between 13 and 18. So I think we have to remember that this company does not have our kids' best interest in mind. They're trying to retrofit safety solutions based on a business model where predators can easily find children and, exchange fit photos with them, get them onto other platforms. There have been kids who have been kidnapped. There's currently, the Louisiana Attorney General is suing Roblox.
Yes.
And there are people saying there is a class action lawsuit coming because so many kids have been harmed. So even though, yes, there are some things that you can sort of Band-Aid it, unless you have, a teenager who is like, okay, you're trying to train them in the ways of digital safety.
Yep.
I just don't know that it's worth it. And I think as parents, a lot of us have to be willing to reverse the put the truck in reverse and back out of some of these really dangerous platforms. And I think Roblox is chief number one on the chopping block right now.
Yeah. You mentioned the Attorney General of Louisiana, Liz Murrill. She is suing Roblox. She issued a statement, said, here's why I'm suing Roblox. They continue to facilitate and distribute child sex abuse material and sexual exploitation of Louisiana's children. Roblox fails to implement basic safety controls to protect child users from predators. Roblox knowingly and intentionally fails to provide notice to parents and its child users of its extreme dangers. And it created, curated, and perpetuated an online environment where child sex predators thrive, unite, hunt, and victimize our kids.
And make money doing it.
It's disgusting.
That's what we should really be concerned about.
Well, and like you said, there are safeguards. There are some good intentions with some developers, but you see games like the XYZ public bathroom simulator hangout.
Right.
What on earth could that be for other than the sexualization of children? And the maturity level, while it was still available, was set to moderate. Can you tell me how that would be moderate?
Right. And it's just honestly too much for parents to get their arms around. Like, we're trying to do a good job raising kids who aren't addicted to screens.
Yep.
And there are so many battles to fight, even on content that is wholesome because it draws you in. So I think we have to start really triaging the kind of content that's coming into our kids' lives, and things that are wholesale dangerous or they present a really high risk. Just chop it off. You've
Delete it.
got other things that you need to focus on to get your kids so they have an executive function so that they can like survive adolescence and know how to think on their own. So with all the battles that we're fighting to provide, online safety for our kids and help them grow, why would we intentionally go into a complete dumpster fire like Roblox? I just don't think it's worth it.
No, I completely agree with you. And like you said, there's so many battles to fight. I mean, we're starting the new school year. So
Right.
your kids are going to be exposed to new influences, new texts, new apps. As a parent, when you're seeing this kind of stuff unfold, what are some red flags? What are some warning signs? And what are some danger areas that like, hey, red alert, if your kid comes home using this app, we need to have a talk.
Well, I think the big challenge for parents is that there are, 1.8 million apps in the App Store. So there is going to be a new app literally every day.
Yep.
And you're going to have to put some information streams into your pathway. So, meaning you're signing up for emails from Parents Who Fight or following organizations online, wherever you are, that are talking about the things that are current. Because today it could be this and tomorrow it could be that. But there's the kingpins like Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. And a lot of parents don't even know when their kids have that. I go into parents' homes and I evaluate their safety settings, I evaluate their devices. And when we go to apps, parents don't even realize that kids can like hide apps. They don't even know how to look for that. So I think the first thing is locking up your app store. That is job number one for a parent. I don't think any person under the age of 16 needs the app store all the time. Think of it like this is the mall. We're going to lock it. You can't just go there whenever you want. Okay.
Yep.
So, number one, lock up your app store. Number two, make sure that you have permissions set so that any app can't just sneak onto the phone. That way, if an app request comes, you can evaluate it. You can go to our website. You can go to Bark's website. You can see what is being talked about with this app. What are the risks? What are the challenges before you approve something? So that's the biggest thing is we've got to lock some of those doors. And then when kids are coming home and they're hearing about stuff from other kids, they are going to want things that maybe have some dangers that are hidden in them. And your child might not be trying to be so nefarious. So open and honest conversations with them, being like, hey, I saw this app called Lemonade. Do you know anything about that? Do your friends use it? There are so many apps that you're not going to be able to get your arms around all of them. But if you put yourself in the streams of people who are talking about this stuff, you can initiate a conversation and find out from your kid what they know about, what they're curious about, what their friends are using. So those are some foundational things before you even get to which apps parents should be looking for.
I think that that's some great advice. Now, for me and my wife, we kind of have talks with other parents, and we're like, okay, none of us are doing cell phones. Like we're not. Like
Yeah.
we got a Bark watch. She can text mom and dad. That's tops. That's for my 11-year-old.
Perfect.
Now,
Yeah.
but for other parents who are nervous, like I don't want my kid to be the weird kid and not have any access to technology. What advice would you give them?
I think it depends on their age. What we would encourage parents is to really evaluate some of the research that's come out over the past year and a half about how puberty is impacted by addictive apps. So, of course, that's going to include social media, that's going to include YouTube, that's going to include video games. And as much as you can, I would delay addictive media through puberty. So, for boys and girls, it's slightly different. You're talking like 14, maybe 15, and really delaying that smartphone because now there's all these great options that are smartphone like,
Yep.
the Bark phone is one of them. There's Gab, there's Pinwheel, there's TrueMe. So there are lots of options now. And as your kid approaches that golden age of 16, that's where we're saying, okay, You're starting your executive function, you can get a license. You're starting to work, maybe. You're looking for scholarships for college. You're exploring what kinds of things you want to do. You might be taking dual enrollment classes already.
Yeah.
So we want to give our kids some access to help them grow, but really not turning things over until they're like, 15, 16 years old. And I think now, as opposed to even a year or two ago, we have so many more people who are considering going in reverse. So find partners just like you have.
Yep.
You have your friends are like, we're all doing this. And as they get older, let's talk about it. I had a mom reach out to me who was like, my daughter's really responsible. I had met her daughter. I completely agree. She said she went to this great Christian camp. She wants to stay connected with friends. They're using Be Real. This daughter is 16 years old. She's asking me, what do you think? I'm like, you know what? You can lock down how much time she spends on it. You can evaluate, and you have a strong enough relationship with her that you can start there. And you can say, hey, in 30, 60, 90 days, we're going to reevaluate. We're going to talk about how did this go and see, can you continue? Is this something that you feel good about, that we feel good about? So we're not about shutting everything down, but certainly about gradual access. So not everything at once and not everything during puberty.
Well, I love the advice, and you guys are chock full of it. We're talking with Sarah Siegand over at Parents Who Fight. How can people get in touch with you guys? How can they keep up with what you're doing so that way they can keep their kids safe online, Sarah?
Yeah, parentswhofight.com is our website, and we post pretty much daily on Instagram, and we're really echoing all of the good people out there who are talking about how to keep your kids safe. So you're going to see posts from us that are sharing stuff from Bark. You're going to see stuff from us that's sharing stuff from Parent Protect and Family IT Guide. There's so many parents who are in this fight now. So online, reach out to us on our website or on Instagram.
Parentswhofight.com. Sarah Siegand, thank you again for the time, for the explanation, and for the advice. We really, really appreciate you. Parentswhofight.com is an incredible resource. If you got kids or you're raising grandkids, definitely go there, check it out, dive in, and get yourself acquainted with it. Sarah, again, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, Chris.